I just ran 8 miles, which I'm super proud of. I haven't ran a long run in a really long time, but I really want to run a half marathon in October, so I'm trying to get used to running long runs again. But anyway, I've been talking a lot on Instagram about how I've been making celery juice almost every morning. Well, not every morning, but I make celery juice a lot of mornings now. So I learned about making celery juice from a guy called Anthony Williams, also known as the medical medium. You might think I'm crazy because he's kind of like, it's a very spiritual thing. Like, it's not necessarily scientific. Well, I found out about it through Ellen Fisher and her sister Hannah. They post some stuff about him, and they both follow a lot of his like medical medium protocols. And at first I was a little skeptical, but the more I looked into it, and I've been listening to his podcast, I read his first book, and I just bought his second book, and I don't know, I'm sold. Like, I believe the stuff that he says. Like, it seems to be legit. I'm a little gross because I just ran. I took a shower, but I just kind of like rinsed. I didn't wash my hair or anything, so I'm a little bit disgusting, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I've really been liking making celery juice every morning, which is something that Anthony recommends pretty much everyone do. It's incredible for your skin, for your liver, for your digestion, for your hair. I'll put a link to his website and the little blog post that he did on celery juice down below, so you can learn more about that. But basically, drinking straight celery juice on an empty stomach, he says 16 ounces is like the magic number, but if you drink 16 ounces of celery juice on an empty stomach regularly, it helps replace the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, which a lot of us are deficient in due to stress or other conditions or just like bad diet. There's a lot of reasons that you could have less than the amount of hydrochloric acid than you're supposed to in your stomach. So basically, fixing your digestion can, as you probably imagine, fix a lot of issues with the rest of your body, because so much of your health is determined by your ability to digest food and absorb nutrients. And so I feel pretty healthy, but everyone has like little things that they don't like or that they feel like aren't going great. And some of the things that I personally have been, I guess, dealing with for a long time, I feel like they've really been helped by the celery juice. If you really hate celery juice, he says you can do cucumber juice. Do it straight. So you want straight celery or straight cucumber. If you really have to, you can cut it with an apple, he says, to begin with, but you want the end goal to be you drinking straight celery juice. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how I make mine without a juicer. Alright, so here's all the stuff you're going to need to make your celery juice if you don't have a juicer. So the first thing you're going to need is celery, obviously. So this is 2 small stalks of celery, or you could use 1 big stalk of celery. It's good to use organic celery if you can. If you can't afford organic celery, you can totally get conventional celery. Just make sure you wash it. This is what I use to wash the celery whenever I buy conventional. It's Dr. Bronner's soap. It's probably best if you use an unscented soap, but we really like the peppermint, so this is what we keep in the house. So I just put a tiny drop of this in this bowl with some water, and then I break apart the celery and rinse it in the water and just like clean it really well if it's conventional, and then I rinse that in water afterwards. So you don't want it to taste like peppermint or like soap, so I just rinse it in the soapy water first, and then I rinse it with just plain water after that, and then it's good to go. And this celery is organic, so I'm just going to rinse it really quickly with water, just a little bit. I don't usually use the butt of the celery. I usually cut this off. If it's a really leafy celery, I usually take off the leaves. Those can be a little bit bitter. I usually just feed the leaves to my rabbit. If you're like me and you don't have a juicer, the next thing you're going to need is a high-speed blender. I really love my Vitamix. Sorry, it's kind of disgusting. We use it 8 million times a day, so we do clean it really well, but it's quite used and it looks it. But it still works great, and I've had it for probably like 6 or 7 years at this point, and it's still kicking butt every day, knock on wood. Put all the celery, I usually just like break it up with my hands after I rinse it really quick, and put it all in a blender. You're gonna blend that with no added water, so don't add any water to it. You're gonna have to use the tamper to like push it all down and get it all blended up, but once it's like a celery soup, you pour that into your nut milk bag, and then you strain that into your bowl. I am actually obsessed with this nut milk bag that I have. It's from Ellie's Best. I'll put a link in the description. They actually sent this to me a few months ago, and it's still going strong. I do have a discount code for 10% off anything on their website. All their stuff is really great, and honestly, this is the best nut milk bag I've ever had, and I say that with complete honesty. I use it inside out so that I don't get any of the pulp attached to this like little zipper thingy, the thread on the end. But yeah, I use it inside out, still working great. It's a little stained from all the celery juice and also from other things that I've juiced with it, but it works fantastic. There's a little bit of celery residue from last time I used it, but that's okay. But yeah, so I strain all of the celery soup that I make in my Vitamix through this into this bowl, and then I pour that into a glass and I enjoy it.